Happy Thursday. We have finally put our tree up, and so I wanted to share a little bit of holiday cheer with our tree in the background. And this has been a melancholy kind of week, and I wanted to share a Christmas song this week, but I've been feeling kind of down, and I found one in a minor key, and it really spoke to me. So I want to share with you, What Child Is This? What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him loud, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant king, to own him, the King of kings. Salvation brings, let loving hearts enthrone him. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary, the babe, the Son of Mary. I love that it is a song of praise in a minor key, because some days just call for a D minor and a minor key, but there is still hope, even on the hard days. As we were putting our tree up tonight, I was reminded of so many traditions that are going to be different this year, and so many absences. I have no idea what sound is happening in my house, but I'm going to keep going. There's so many things that we are going to miss this year, and I've decided that I am going to look on traditions with a different kind of lens this year. Most traditions that I can think of, whether they are something that the church always does or the family has done forever, those traditions are things that we did really different one year and we really liked it. Traditions are usually things. I figured out what the sound was. Somebody's Bluetooth disconnected and the stereo didn't like it. Traditions are things that we did really differently one year, and it felt like a thin place. And we loved the connection that we felt to one another and to God. Think about the traditions that you have as a family, the traditions that we have in our church family. One year, those were really odd, new ways of doing things, and we liked how they felt. And so we did them the next year and the next year, and now we can't imagine Christmas without those things. But the joy of this holiday season is that we have a chance to step back and look at some of those traditions that we always do that we can't do this year. There's some things that we can continue, and I think we are going to hold on tight to the traditions that we can do, the ways that we can celebrate and decorate our spaces are going to be traditions that we want to continue this year. The ways that we connect with one another in person are ways that we're going to have to rethink this year. And in thinking about those things, I was thinking that I want to invite you this week, this day, this season, when you find yourself in a moment of sadness, when you are thinking of a tradition that is not going to happen this year, I want you to sit with that memory for a minute. Close your eyes if you need to. Remember the smells. Remember the people that were there. Remember the connections to that tradition. And I invite you to sit with the sad for a minute, to mourn the fact that this year that's not happening. But I also invite you to look for the joy that is in that memory, because there is joy, or it wouldn't be a happy memory for you. It wouldn't be a tradition that you want to continue. So this season, sit with the sad, but don't stay there. Because I think that if we look around and pay attention, there is joy to be found in each day of the season. It's not going to look like we thought it would, but really, it never does. I think the surprise is part of the joy. So I encourage you to sit with the sad when there are moments that you miss a tradition that you have loved for years. But I also invite you to look for the surprises. Look for the joy that you will find in the eyes of another, in the moment, in the smells of new traditions, in the sounds of new, thin places that you will find in this holiday season. Everything looks different, but the story that we come together to celebrate has not changed. The God that we come together to celebrate coming to earth is still with us. And we are invited to find new ways to connect with that Spirit of God among us. I look forward to hearing the ways that you have found that surprise you this season, the ways that you have found to connect. And I hope to hear from you soon. Will you pray with me? Surprising and loving God, you come to us every day, usually in ways that we didn't see coming. Open our eyes to see you. Open our ears, open our hearts to be ready for those surprises and to hold them tight. Sit with us, God, when we feel the absence of something or someone that we love dearly. Hold us tight and help us to breathe deep and remember that you are always with us and you are always ready to surprise us. I love you, God. Amen. I hope that you find thin places this week. I hope that you look around with new eyes and expect to be surprised by God's presence. Because I promise, God is very near you. Happy Thursday.